chosen one. They thought they understood you, but they never saw what was happening behind the silence. And this Sunday may feel different, not because you should expect some magical event to suddenly change everything, but because sometimes a day becomes important when something inside you finally becomes clear. A truth settles into your heart. A lesson finally makes sense. A chapter that confused you begins to reveal its meaning. Look back for a moment. Think about the doors that closed, the people who walked away, the moments when you were misunderstood, the times you gave your best and still felt unseen, the delays that made you question yourself, the betrayals that taught you to stop trusting words and start watching actions. You may have wondered, why did this have to happen to me? But perhaps the deeper question was never, why am I being punished? Perhaps it was, what am I being prepared to understand, chosen one? They underestimated you. They saw your silence and thought you had nothing to say. They saw your patience and thought you were afraid. They saw your kindness and mistook it for weakness. They saw you step away and assumed you had lost. But they did not understand that sometimes a person becomes powerful by refusing to react to everything that tries to provoke them. Your silence was not weakness. Your silence was observation. Your patience was not surrender. Your patience was discipline. And your withdrawal was not defeat. Sometimes you simply realized that explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you was a waste of your precious energy. You did not need to reveal every thought. You did not need to announce every plan. You did not need to prove every feeling. There were things you had to understand quietly, and perhaps that quiet season taught you something that success alone never could. It taught you who you were when nobody was applauding. It taught you how to stand when nobody was standing beside you. It taught you how to keep moving when there was no evidence that the road would become easier. And this is where divine timing enters your story. One God knows what you cannot see. You see the delay. Ken God sees the entire journey. You see a closed door. Ken God knows what may have been beyond it. You see an unanswered moment. One God knows the timing that you cannot yet understand. Not every delay is rejection. Not every closed door is punishment. Sometimes the delay protects you from something you were not ready to recognize. Sometimes the waiting builds character before opportunity arrives. Sometimes you are being taught patience because the person you are becoming requires more wisdom than the person you used to be. You were not forgotten. Read that again in your heart. You were not forgotten. Your story has not been erased because one chapter became painful, and your delay was not your ending. There are moments when truth does not arrive loudly. It arrives slowly. A pattern becomes visible. A person's actions finally make sense. A decision you once regretted suddenly looks different. A loss that once broke your heart becomes the lesson that strengthened your character. Truth reveals itself, not always on your schedule, not always in the way you imagined. But with time, what is real has a way of becoming clearer. And when that happens, you will not need revenge. You will not need to destroy anyone. You will not need to stand on a mountain and announce that you were right. Justice does not require revenge. Let that sentence settle deeply inside you. Justice does not require revenge. You do not need to become cruel because someone treated you cruelly. You do not need to become dishonest because someone betrayed you. You do not need to abandon your values because someone failed to recognize them. Your strength is not measured by how loudly you can fight. Your strength is measured by what you refuse to become. That is spiritual awakening. It is the moment you stop asking everyone else to validate your existence. You stop chasing approval. You stop begging people to understand your heart. You begin choosing wisdom over reaction, discipline over impulse, character over appearance, purpose over popularity. And above everything, you begin drawing closer to one God with humility. Chosen one is not a crown that makes you better than anyone else. It is a reminder of responsibility. It means you are being called to become wiser, more patient, more honest, more courageous, and more responsible with the life you have been given. It means your pain should not make you arrogant. Your success should not make you cruel. Your knowledge should not make you proud. And your struggles should not convince you that your life has no meaning. Maybe the greatest sign of your awakening is that you no longer need everyone to understand you. You understand yourself more deeply now. You know what you will tolerate. You know what you must release. You know when to speak. You know when silence is wiser. And you know that your relationship with one God matters more than the opinions of people who only saw one chapter of your story. So when Sunday comes, breathe. Do not walk into it desperate for a miracle. Walk into it with awareness. Look at your life differently. Ask yourself what the difficult seasons taught you. Ask what you need to release. Ask what kind of person you are becoming. And then move forward, quickly, faithfully, with discipline, with patience, with courage, because your greatest victory may never be watching someone regret underestimating you. Your greatest victory may be becoming someone who no longer needs their regret. They underestimated you. Let them. You were not forgotten. Remember that. Your silence was not weakness. Your delay was not your ending. Truth reveals itself. Justice does not require revenge. And your legacy is being built, not in one dramatic moment, not in one perfect Sunday, but in every choice you make when nobody is watching. Every time you choose patience instead of anger. Every time you choose truth instead of deception. Every time you choose humility instead of ego. Every time you continue walking after disappointment, that is where your legacy is being built. So, chosen one, do not fear the season you are in. Do not curse the road because it has been difficult. Do not assume that because you cannot see the destination, there is no direction. God sees what you cannot see. Trust divine wisdom. Respect divine timing. Keep your heart clean. Keep your mind disciplined. Keep your character strong. And keep walking. One day, you may look back at everything that once confused you and realize that the journey was teaching you how to carry the person you were becoming. You were never required to prove that you were special. You were required to become responsible for the gifts, lessons, wisdom, and opportunities placed in your path. So walk forward without hatred. Walk forward without desperation. Walk forward without needing applause. Your destiny does not need to shout. Your purpose does not need permission. And your journey does not need everyone's understanding. Chose one. Be patient. Be humble. Be courageous. Stay close to one God. Because sometimes destiny is not revealed in the moment you demand an answer. Sometimes destiny is revealed through the person you become while you patiently wait. And when the time is right, you will understand why you had to walk through the silence, why you had to endure the delay, and why your greatest strength was being built when nobody was watching. Chosen one, stay with me, because there is another layer to this journey that you cannot ignore. There comes a moment when you stop looking at your life through the eyes of the people who misunderstood you. That moment changes everything. For so long, you may have measured your worth by how people treated you. If they respected you, you felt worthy. If they rejected you, you questioned yourself. If they remembered you, you felt important. If they ignored you, you wondered what was wrong with you. But awakening teaches you something deeper. People's perception of you is not the measurement of your purpose. Someone can misunderstand you and still be wrong about you. Someone can leave you and still have no idea what their absence taught you. Someone can underestimate you and never realize that their doubt became fuel for your growth. They underestimated you, but their mistake does not have to become your burden. You don't have to spend the rest of your life trying to convince them. Let them remember the version of you they thought they knew. You are allowed to grow beyond their expectations. You are allowed to become quieter, wiser, more disciplined, more selective, more peaceful. There is a strange power in no longer needing to explain every transformation. You don't announce every lesson. You don't display every wound. You don't show everyone how much you have survived. Some battles are between you and your own weaknesses. Some victories happen in silence. And some of the most important changes in your life will happen when nobody knows they are happening. That is why this Sunday can become meaningful. Not because you must expect something extraordinary to happen outside of you, but because you can choose for something extraordinary to happen within you. Choose clarity. Choose patience. Choose discipline. Choose forgiveness without becoming foolish. Choose kindness without abandoning boundaries. Choose faith without abandoning wisdom. And choose peace without becoming passive. Chosen one. There is a difference between being peaceful and being powerless. A peaceful person can still walk away. A peaceful person can still say no. A peaceful person can still recognize injustice. A peaceful person can still protect their dignity. They simply refuse to allow anger to become their master. That is strength. Real strength does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like going to sleep instead of sending the message you will regret. Sometimes it looks like remaining silent when your ego demands an argument. Sometimes it looks like starting again after disappointment. Sometimes it looks like admitting you were wrong. Sometimes it looks like walking away from what you once begged to keep. And sometimes it looks like waiting without losing yourself, waiting without becoming bitter, waiting while continuing to work on your character. Because divine timing is not an excuse to do nothing. You still have responsibilities, you still have choices, you still have work to do. You cannot control every outcome, but you can control the integrity with which you walk toward it. You cannot control who understands you, but you can control whether you remain true to what is right. You cannot control when every answer arrives, but you can control whether you remain patient enough to receive wisdom when it does. And perhaps that is what your recent season was really teaching you. Not how to become untouchable, but how to become unshaken. There is a difference. Being untouchable means nothing can affect you. Being unshaken means life can hurt you, disappoint you, confuse you, and even break your heart for a season. But it cannot permanently take away your moral center. You bend, you learn. You heal, you rise, and you continue. Chosen one, you may have lost people. You may have lost opportunities. You may have lost versions of yourself that once felt permanent. But do not assume every loss was destruction. Some losses create space. Some endings create clarity. Some disappointments reveal priorities. Some betrayals teach discernment. Some lonely seasons teach you how to hear your own thoughts again. And some delays force you to stop running toward things that were never meant to define you. You were not forgotten. You were being shaped by experience. And your delay was not your ending. It was one part of the story. The story is still being written through your choices. So don't become obsessed with what other people are doing. Don't waste your life watching who succeeded before you. Don't compare your chapter to someone else's highlight. Your journey has its own timing. Your lessons have their own purpose. Your responsibilities are your own. And your relationship with one God is your own. You do not need to know every detail of tomorrow. You only need enough wisdom to take the next right step. One step, then another, then another. That is how mountains are crossed. That is how character is built. That is how destiny becomes visible. Not all at once, but through thousands of decisions that nobody applauds. And one day, you may realize that the person you were waiting to become was being built inside you all along. Not through comfort, through pressure, not through constant praise, through rejection, not through having every answer, through learning patience, not through controlling everything, through learning trust. So if this Sunday finds you tired, breathe. If it finds you uncertain, breathe. If it finds you hopeful, remain humble. If it finds you wounded, do not let the wound become your identity. If it finds you alone, remember that solitude can become a classroom. And if it finds you standing at the beginning of something new, do not carry the fear of the old chapter into the new one. Leave it there. You have learned enough. You have survived enough. You have grown enough to take the next step. Chosen one. Your future does not need to be predicted for your life to have meaning. You don't need a guaranteed outcome. You need courage for the journey. You need wisdom for the decisions. You need patience for the delays. You need humility for the blessings. And you need one God at the center of your heart. Let the world rush. You don't have to. Let others compete for attention. You don't have to. Let people misunderstand your silence. You don't have to correct every misunderstanding. Your life will speak through your character. Your consistency will speak. Your discipline will speak. Your peace will speak. And eventually, perhaps the greatest answer you will ever give to those who underestimated you will not be words at all. It will be the person you become. So keep going, quickly, puttily, faithfully, because your legacy is being built, your character is being built, your wisdom is being built, and perhaps the greatest chapter of your journey will begin not when everyone finally understands you, but when you finally stop needing them to. Chosen one, let them misunderstand the old you. You are walking with greater wisdom now. Let the past remain behind you. Let divine timing unfold. Let truth reveal itself. Let justice belong where justice belongs. And let your heart remain free. Because the journey was never about proving that you were chosen above others. It was about becoming worthy of the responsibility your life placed before you. And perhaps that is the deepest meaning of your journey. You were not waiting for destiny to find you. You were being prepared to recognize it. Chosen one, there is something you must understand before you move forward. The season that tested you may also have revealed you. It showed you what you truly value when comfort disappeared. It showed you what kind of person you become when nobody is praising you. It showed you whether your principles were real or only words you repeated when life was easy. And that is why some seasons feel so intense. They are not only testing your circumstances, they are testing your character. Maybe you thought you were waiting for a better life, but perhaps you were also being prepared to handle one. Because what good is receiving an opportunity if you do not have the wisdom to protect it? What good is gaining influence if you lose your humility? What good is getting everything you wanted if along the way you become someone you no longer recognize? Chosen one, never become so obsessed with the destination that you forget the person being created on the road. Your character is the real treasure. Your patience is the real wealth. Your wisdom is the real protection. Your integrity is the real victory. And this is why the people who walked away may not have taken what you think they took. They may have taken their presence. They may have taken their attention. They may have taken their approval. But they could not take the lessons. They could not take your ability to grow. They could not take the wisdom you gained through pain. They could not take the relationship you are building with one God. And they certainly cannot decide what your future must become. You have more responsibility over your next chapter than you realize. Do not give that responsibility to people who only know your past. Do not allow one betrayal to teach you that everyone is unworthy of trust. Do not allow one rejection to convince you that you are unwanted. Do not allow one failure to convince you that you are incapable. And do not allow one delay to convince you that your destiny has disappeared. Your delay was not your ending. Say it again. Your delay was not your ending. There are things you cannot see yet. There are lessons whose value becomes clear only after time passes. There are doors you may be grateful did not open. There are people you may someday understand differently. And there are moments that feel like endings while they are actually redirections. This is why you must be careful with your thoughts, because when you are wounded, your mind can turn uncertainty into certainty. You can take silence and call it rejection. You can take delay and call it failure. You can take distance and call it abandonment. You can take a difficult season and call it the end. But wisdom says, wait, observe, learn, pray. Think, then move. Not every mystery needs an immediate answer. Not every question needs to be solved today. Sometimes patience is the space where understanding grows. Chosen one, maybe Sunday is not about something happening to you. Maybe Sunday is about you deciding something within yourself. Maybe you decide that you will no longer live from fear. Maybe you decide that you will stop chasing people who do not value your presence. Maybe you decide that your energy belongs to your purpose. Maybe you decide that you will stop explaining your worth. Maybe you decide that you will become disciplined even when motivation disappears. Maybe you decide that you will stop carrying old anger into new opportunities. That decision can change everything, because transformation often begins quietly. No announcement, no audience, no applause. Just a private decision inside your heart. I will not become bitter. I will not become dishonest. I will not become cruel. I will not abandon my values. I will continue. That is where the real awakening begins. Not when you discover that you are better than someone else, But when you discover that you no longer need to be better than anyone else, you simply need to become better than the person you were yesterday. That is the chosen one identity at its healthiest. Responsibility without arrogance, confidence without pride, spirituality without superiority, strength without cruelty, justice without revenge, wisdom without ego, and faith without laziness. Because one God does not need you to destroy your enemies. Your responsibility is to protect your character. Let consequences unfold naturally. Let truth reveal itself. Let time expose what words tried to hide. You do not need to force every outcome. You do not need to manipulate every situation. You do not need to make everyone understand. There is freedom in releasing what you cannot control, and there is power in focusing on what you can. Your choices, your habits, your words, your reactions, your discipline, your integrity, your relationship with one God. These are the things you can build. These are the things that remain when everything temporary disappears. So if someone underestimated you, let that be their misunderstanding. If someone rejected you, let that be part of your history. If someone betrayed you, let the lesson remain without allowing the bitterness to remain. If someone walked away, let them walk. You don't have to chase every person who leaves. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is continue walking in the direction your conscience tells you is right. Chosen one. You have spent enough time asking, why did they do this to me? Now ask a deeper question. What can I become because I survived it? That question changes the story. Pain becomes instruction. Failure becomes information. Rejection becomes redirection. Waiting becomes preparation. Silence becomes reflection. And loneliness becomes an opportunity to hear what noise once drowned out. Your silence was not weakness. It was a season where you learned to listen. Listen to your conscience. Listen to wisdom. Listen to the lessons hidden inside experience. And most importantly, keep your heart connected to one God. Because when everything around you changes, you need something deeper than circumstances to anchor you. You need principles. You need humility. You need faith. You need patience. You need the courage to continue even when the road is uncertain. And perhaps that is why you are still here. Not because life has been easy, but because something inside you kept saying, keep going, again and again and again. That voice did not promise you an easy road. It reminded you that the road was still worth walking. So walk not with arrogance, not with revenge, not with desperation. Walk with quiet confidence. Let your actions become your answer. Let your patience become your strength. Let your wisdom become your protection. Let your character become your testimony. And let your relationship with one God become the foundation beneath everything you build. Because one day, you may look back and realize that the moments you thought were destroying your story were actually teaching you how to write it with greater wisdom. Truth reveals itself. Justice does not require revenge. Your legacy is being built. And chosen one, the greatest evidence of your awakening will not be that everyone finally sees your value. It will be that you finally see it without needing anyone else to confirm it. You were not forgotten. You were being refined by experience. You were learning patience. You were learning discernment. You were learning restraint. You were learning courage. And now you are learning something even deeper. You do not need to know exactly when everything will change. You only need to remain faithful to what is right while you wait. So let Sunday come. Let it arrive quietly. Let it remind you that another week has passed, another lesson has been learned, and another opportunity has been placed before you. Do not demand that the future reveal itself all at once. Walk one step at a time. Trust divine wisdom. Respect divine timing. Protect your peace. Strengthen your character. And never forget, the people who underestimated the old version of you do not get to define the person you are becoming. Your past may explain you. It does not own you. Your pain may have shaped you. It does not have to control you. Your waiting may have tested you. It does not determine your ending. Chosen one, your story is still moving. Your purpose is still unfolding. Your wisdom is still growing. Your legacy is still being built. And perhaps the greatest miracle is not that one day everything around you changes. Perhaps the greatest miracle is that you changed first. You became patient where you once were desperate. You became wise where you once were confused. You became peaceful where you once were angry. You became disciplined where you once were distracted. You became humble where you once needed approval. And now you understand. Destiny is not always a sudden arrival. Sometimes destiny is the slow transformation of a human being who refuses to give up. So keep walking, chosen one. Keep trusting. Keep learning. Keep becoming. Let divine timing be greater than your impatience. Let divine wisdom be greater than your fear. Let justice unfold without poisoning your heart. And when the road feels silent again, remember this. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the deepest work happens where the world cannot see it. And sometimes the person you are becoming is being built in the very season you once prayed to escape. So be patient. Your journey is not late. Your purpose is not lost. Your story is not finished. You are still becoming. And what is meant to be built through patience, wisdom, and divine timing cannot be measured by how quickly the world understands you. Chosen one, keep walking, because the journey that tested your heart may become the journey that reveals its strength. Chosen one, now take a breath. Let everything you have heard settle inside you. You do not have to solve your entire life tonight. You do not have to know exactly what tomorrow will bring. You do not have to force doors open. You do not have to chase people who chose to leave. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone. Your task is simpler than that. Keep becoming, keep learning, keep your heart clean, keep your mind disciplined, keep your character strong, and stay close to one God, because there will be moments when nothing seems to be changing. There will be mornings when you wonder if your patience has meaning. There will be nights when you question whether the road you chose is taking you anywhere. But remember, your silence was not weakness. Your waiting was not wasted. Your delay was not your ending. You were not forgotten. Every difficult season can carry a lesson if you are willing to receive it. Every disappointment can teach discernment. Every rejection can teach self-respect. Every lonely moment can teach you how to stand without applause. And every delay can teach you that divine timing is not controlled by human impatience. So do not measure your life only by what has happened yet. Measure it by who you are becoming. That is where your real victory lives. Chosen one, you may never receive an explanation for everything that happened, and perhaps you do not need one. Some questions are answered through time. Some wounds are answered through healing. Some injustices are answered through consequences, and some mysteries are answered only by the wisdom that comes after you have walked farther down the road. Let truth reveal itself. Do not force it. Let justice unfold. Do not become revengeful. Let divine wisdom guide you. Do not allow fear to become your master, and let patience shape you. Do not confuse waiting with weakness. A seed waits before it rises. A sunrise waits behind the darkness. A person waits while becoming ready. You are allowed to wait. You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to rebuild. You are allowed to begin again. And if this Sunday marks anything for you, let it mark a decision. A decision to stop living for the approval of people. A decision to stop carrying yesterday into tomorrow. A decision to stop allowing betrayal to define your heart. A decision to stop confusing delay with failure. A decision to trust one God while still doing your part. A decision to become the person your future requires. Because your destiny is not built by wishing. It is built through choices, through discipline, through patience, through courage, through integrity, through the quiet decisions nobody sees. Your legacy is being built right now, not someday, right now. Every time you refuse to become bitter, every time you choose wisdom over anger, every time you choose truth over convenience, every time you continue after disappointment, every time you forgive without becoming careless, every time you stand firm without becoming cruel, you are building something. You are becoming something. And perhaps that is the hidden meaning behind this entire journey. The world may have expected your pain to destroy you, but instead, it taught you the rejection was supposed to make you desperate. Instead, it taught you self-respect. The silence was supposed to make you feel forgotten. Instead, it taught you reflection. The delay was supposed to make you give up. Instead, it taught you patience. They underestimated you, but you do not need to prove them wrong. Become so grounded that their opinion no longer controls your direction. Become so wise that you no longer need revenge. Become so disciplined that temporary emotions cannot destroy permanent goals. Become so connected to one God that uncertainty does not make you abandon your principles. That is your awakening. That is your strength. That is your responsibility. So when you leave this message, do not carry fear with you. Carry clarity. Do not carry hatred. Carry wisdom. Do not carry desperation. Carry patience. Do not carry the need to be understood. Carry the courage to remain true. And if nobody applauds your progress, continue. If nobody recognizes your growth, continue. If nobody understands your journey, continue. Because your journey was never dependent on their permission. Chosen one. One day, you may look back and realize that the hardest chapter did not destroy your destiny. It prepared your character. The people who misunderstood you did not write your future. The doors that closed did not erase your purpose. The delays did not cancel your journey. And the moments you spent alone were not proof that you were forgotten. They were moments in which you learned how to stand. So stand. Stand with humilities. Stand with courage. Stand with patience. Stand with wisdom. Stand with one God in your heart. And keep walking. Because destiny does not always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it arrives quietly, through a stronger mind, a calmer heart, a wiser decision, a healthier boundary, a deeper faith, and a person who finally understands that they do not need to rush what divine timing is still preparing. Chosen one, your story is not over, your purpose is not finished, your legacy is still being written. So let this Sunday be more than another day. Let it be a reminder. You were not forgotten. Your silence was not weakness. Your delay was not your ending. Truth reveals itself. Justice does not require revenge. And your legacy is being built. Keep your heart patient. Keep your spirit humble. Keep your actions disciplined. Keep your connection with one God strong. And when you cannot see what is ahead, trust that you do not need to see the entire road to take the next faithful step. Because sometimes the greatest evidence that destiny is unfolding is not that everything around you has changed. It is that asterisk you have changed. You have survived. You have learned. You have awakened. You have become wiser. And now, chosen one, walk into your next chapter without fear. Let patience protect your peace. Let divine wisdom guide your decisions. Let justice remain in the hands of one God. And let your journey continue. Because the road may have been long, the waiting may have been painful, and the answers may have taken time. But what is being built through patience, character, and divine wisdom will be worth the journey.